Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and look over those practice problems that you just did. Okay, cool. Okay, remember this is objective 1, part 2. So you're at these t-tables. What did you get? Let's check against the answers. Okay, so your first difference, you notice, go from 6, you have to add 3 to get to 9. 9, you add 6 to get to 15. 15 plus 9 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. The first difference, again, it is not the same. These numbers change. But the second difference, which is the difference of the difference, or the second grow by number, I got plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So it's not the plus 2 that we got last time, but they're still all the same numbers. It's what we call constant. Okay, let's go over here. Again, my first difference, they're different numbers, but my second difference is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, a quadratic function then, which is really interesting if you think about this. Look, it is x squared 2 is the exponent. It was the second difference is constant. Now, linear, which your biggest term is x to the first, right? Y equals mx plus b. What difference is constant? Your first. So let's think, x to the third. How many times do you think you'll need to do this for it to be constant? If you thought third, you're right. Now, how about x to the 10th? How many times will we need to do it? Yeah, 10 times. So that's one of those really awesome things about math where they just have all of these cool patterns. Okay, yep, nerd out right now about that. Okay, so then some takeaways for this is that your second difference, or your grow by number, is constant or the same. Remember, you guys, that it wasn't always plus 2 every time, but it was the same, okay? But I do need you to know something. Remember, though, that, look, it was skipping by 1 every time, or skipping by 1 over here, or moving up by 1, right? So you need to remember, though, that the x column, 1 was going from small to big, right? And 2, so it's going from small to big. And 2, it is skipping the same amount. It is skipping the same amount each time, or else it won't work. Okay, now sometimes I can tell that it is a quadratic function by another thing by looking at the t-table. This doesn't always work though, but sometimes it does. Look over here. What do you notice? Look, here's your 0, and then you can actually see the symmetry. The 1 and the 1 are the same, and the 4 and the 4 are the same. So I can actually tell that it's symmetrical in the t-table. So sometimes I can tell that it is quadratic by seeing the symmetry. Sorry, you guys, about my writing. I know it's kind of hard to tell on this computer screen. Okay, but I need you to see the symmetry. That's another way to see it. All right, the third one, I left this open for you guys. Another way I can tell that it is quadratic is by blah, 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 blah. So if you were able to see a pattern on your own, that's amazing. I need you to pause right now and share it with your group, and I want you guys to write that down for number 3. Okay? Okay. All right. Now let's go to our last representation for now, which is equation. How can I tell that it is growing in a quadratic fashion? Well, just as we mentioned before, there is always a term that is squared, okay? You need to have an x squared in there, and also it is going to be the biggest one. And this term is the x. Remember, if it were the y, it would be a dead parabola. But that's for parent graphs. All right, so it can look like 3 different things, or 3 different formats that we often use. It's this first one is the standard form. Y equals x squared plus bx plus c. Your factored form is y equals x minus n times x minus n. Those two are being multiplied together. And graphing form, which is what we just most recently learned, which is y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and look at all of those three forms. Those three things you're going to learn in the next video, that they have different strengths and weaknesses of each one, okay? So I just need you guys to really work hard on memorizing the three different main quadratic equations. There's also one note. You need to put y equals. So some people were just putting this as their equations. In the math world, if you don't have an equal sign, it is not an equation. Okay, it is an expression. So you need to have y equals. What do you need to have? Y equals, Miss Choi. What do you need to have? Y equals. Okay, good. I hope that's really in your guys' brains now. Okay, I want you to notice something. Again, the term x squared is in there, and it is the biggest one. This one, if you multiply it out and simplify this, then yes, you would get an x squared here. And over here, if you went ahead and multiplied this out, you would get an x squared. That is your biggest term, and that is what is going to make the t-table act like this, with the second difference being the same, even though it's all smudged now, and with the graph being a U. All right, now I'm going to give you guys directions for how I want you guys to do practice problems. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then, or you guys can go ahead and read it out loud. And then I want you to pause and leave it up there so you can read it. All right. So in your groups, I want you to, number 1, pick a problem to start with. Number 2, all try it quietly and individually for 1 or 2 minutes. 3, come back together. Person with the longest name, ask the following question. Do we agree or disagree on our answers? Share out your answers. Just get a sense of where you guys are at. Then 4, I want that same person to ask someone the following question. Hey, blah, blah, blah. What is the first thing you tried and what was helpful about that strategy? Remember to take risks. And then I want you to talk together as a group, okay, for how you solve that problem. Every single person should be sharing their ideas and strategies. The more ways we see it, the smarter we get, okay? And then once you guys are at a good sense of how to come to the correct answer together, then I want you to move on to a new problem, and I want you to repeat that process. Again, it's the conversation piece that's going to help you guys really remember how to do this, okay? So it's really important that you put your answers out there and that you show each other all of the different ways you are smart in math, okay? All right, thank you guys so much. After you're done with this, practice those problems. Then go ahead and move on to the next video. I do want to show you what the practice problem page looks like for this one. It looks like this, okay? It looks like this. All right, here's the thing, you guys. If you go ahead and do the whole thing, I will sign off 2. I said 2 missing assignments. If you go ahead and do this whole page, I will sign off 2 missing homework assignments. You don't need to do it all. This is to help you. You need to do as many for you to feel really confident about it. If you want to sign off 2 missing homework assignments, then you do the whole page. All right? Okay, good luck. Bye.